welcome back to another episode. Happy Saturday, guys. Thank you guys for being here. So we got some action, guys, not from Hot Toys, but from the other king, the new king, J&D. It looks like they are teasing their upcoming John Wick figure, which I already kind of looked at very, very briefly, not in full depth. So we're gonna do that tonight. I didn't even know about it, so shout out to Rudy for telling me, because he's the one who tells me about all these things that I'm not on top of. And then obviously we're gonna go over whatever Hot Toys announced and released. That go over the things that Mike didn't go over from Tuesday. And then that's it, guys, because it doesn't seem like we have a lot, unless you guys have some action. Also, guys, also, I don't know. I don't know if I should say anything yet. Let me not jinx it until it's in hand. So I'm gonna keep it quiet for now until it's more of a solid announcement. So let's get started, guys. Let me say hello to you guys as always, and then we'll get started. We got Uncarded. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Buck up and strap on. Rough and ready pizza. Little Caesars. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Happy Saturday, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't yet. Yes, hit that like button. We got Chooch. How are you, my friend? Christian in the house.
Hello.
Welcome. We got Talia. How are you? Happy Saturday or Sunday, maybe for you. Welcome. We got Sean. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Welcome. We got Michael in the house. Welcome, my friend.
Hello.
Nice to see you. We got Bo.
How you doing?
Bo. Let's see. Carter says, unbelievable. This girly present is later. No, I literally just got home, guys. That's why I had to push it, but I made it before 9:30, so we're good. I'll catch a replay. Time to go watch Sinners in IMAX. Guys, I don't know if you heard about that movie. Do not go see that movie. Apparently, it's all witchcraft and it's all like demonic stuff. Do not do that to yourselves, guys. Do not do that to yourselves. It is not fun. Rob, how are you, my friend? Welcome. What up, collectors? Hope everyone is doing well. We got Gerardo in the house.
Konnichiwa means what's up.
Hello, collectors. Added all 21 inches of Venom to my collection. It took some effort, but I was able to fit him right in. So, how do you like it? Gerardo? Is it something that you will be putting up for sale within the next couple of months because your collection is moving in a different direction, and then I'll buy it for $150? Please let me know. Chris, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. There's 20 of you guys in here already. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome, my friend. How are you? Roo! Welcome. Let's see. Who's picking up the Mattel? This guy. Oh my God. Guys, Rudy has a question. Okay, let me read it out loud. Who is picking up the Mattel Distortus Rex from the new Jurassic Park?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Oh my God. I'll wait to see the responses, guys. Don't be shy. If you're buying it, please let Rudy know, because he wants to know. So let's see. Oh my God. Let's see who's buying. Come on, guys. Rudy never asks any questions, and he has one tonight, and you guys can't even answer it. Unreal. Here it is for those who missed it. Oh my god. Unbelievable. 0.0. Unreal. All right, Rudy, I guess there's your answer, huh? Also, guys, Nefty hasn't been on because apparently the settings on his phone, when I message him, he doesn't, they're invisible. But when others message him, he gets every message. Carlo, my friend, how are you? Welcome. Nice to see you.
Charlie, my friend, Charlie Brigante, how you doing?
Welcome, my friend. We got Big Dog in the house. How are you, my friend?
Hello.
Welcome, welcome. Chris, how are you, my friend? Happy Saturday.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Hope everyone's doing. We're all doing, Chris. We're definitely doing. Michael, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Let's see who else is in here. All right, I think I got everybody. All right, so let's wait a little bit, guys. There's 27 of you guys in. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to get started. I'm going to get started with the John Wick news until Mike comes in because I know he doesn't care. You guys know he doesn't care for that. Chris, welcome, my friend. Long time. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Welcome. So let's get started, guys, with some John Wick drama from, what do you call it? From, J&D. All right, that was loud. So here is let me rewind it real quickly so we could get all started at the same time. All right, so guys, so again, I haven't looked at these videos, these clips, these teases, these promo videos. There's a couple. There was also a YouTube video that the owner of J&D came out with, and so it really didn't show much of the John Wick, but he was talking more about the recall that they had apparently. So here's the video, guys. 40 seconds long. John Wick by J&D. So as you can see, the base is kind of the same exact Joker base, right? That square, boring base, which is kind of crazy to see that the amount of money that this company's charging, look at that likeness, is not even there at all. The fact that they're charging the amount, again, I don't know what this is going for right now, but the reason why I'm talking about money is because of obviously the Joker situation, right? That thing was over $1,000 for a stupid Joker, right? Nothing fancy about it besides that silicone head sculpt, which turned out to look like crap anyway, right? So there's nothing, as of right now, there's nothing that J&D is doing that is mind-blowing. They're trying to do something different. They're trying to innovate, right? Because as of right now, who's doing silicone head sculpts? I don't know anybody as of yet. So it looks like they're trying to do something new. Inner came in, right, with the rooting thing, right, with the new rooting of the head sculpts. And what did Hot Toys do? Boom, jumped right on it. They're making a killing off of it. So I can tell you this. If, again, and that's a very, very, very shaky if, right? Which again, I don't think so, but so I'm saying it's not even a thing. If for whatever reason J&D's head sculpts, silicone head sculpts were a hit, you better believe that Hot Toys would have jumped all over that as well. If they could figure out how to use silicone for the head sculpts and make them look even better than what they do already, it would have been game over. It would have been game over. And People are complaining about artisan prices right now. It would have been artisan and a half if we would have gotten artisan plus silicone head sculpt. Forget it. Hot Toys would be having to pay easy $575 per artisan figure at least, if that were the case with the silicone head sculpts. So I hope they don't get into that. I hope JND, doesn't give Hot Toys that idea, because again, Hot Toys will steal the idea just like they did the Inart hair. Okay, look at what they're doing. They're doing it way better than Inart already. It was Inart's idea. Hot Toys is capitalizing on it. How are they capitalizing on it? Well, look at the amount of product they're making with it already. Inart's not even doing the amount of product that Hot Toys is doing at all, anywhere near, right? So that's what I mean, capitalizing. They took over that artisan, that rooting market for themselves. The only issue is that the figures that Hot Toys is making don't necessarily all require the rooting, right? For example, what do I mean by that? If you look at the figure, so it may seem that Inart is doing more artisan figures, right? It may seem that way, which if you look at their lineup, they're pretty much all artisan. You got Bruce Wayne artisan, you got Aragorn artisan, you got the Gandalf the White, you got the other one, so it seems, right, that every figure they're doing is rooted artisan. But Hot Toys is making figures that are helmeted, figures that are masked, so they don't require rooting. That's the difference. If Hot Toys were making only head sculpt figures, we would be seeing more artisan more frequently, because there would be nothing in between for fillers like we have Clone Troopers, Stormtrooper repainted. We just got an Imperial clone. We got the red, the Red Scorch, whatever his name is, Boss, right? So all these fillers in between obviously don't require artisan, rooting, hair. So that's why it may seem like that Inart is making more than Hot Toys. But in reality, Hot Toys are going to blow them out of the water eventually, just with the amount of artisan figures that they're going to be making. Let's go to the second video, because there is, like I said, there's a couple. That was the first one. Yep, that was the first one. Here's the second one. Why is this so loud? Where's the volume here? Here it is. Hey, where's the volume? Where's the volume? Oh, here it is. Duh. Here we go. All right. So here's another little clip of it. I don't think it's the same. It shouldn't be the same one. We're about to find out. So like I said already, guys, the likeness I don't like at all. Oh, he could give him a blade, a nice sword. That's nice. We never got that with Hot Toys. We never got a sword with Hot Toys. At least not for the John Wick 2 figure. Maybe with the John Wick 4, which I still haven't opened. I'm waiting for Rudy to help me out with my figure so I could do the video. So again, this is a different clip. The likeness, like I said, is not looking good to me from the first video. So here is the tease of it. Let me pause on the first video where the likeness is, because I wanna point out that it is not great by any means whatsoever. Let me pull it up. Here we go. There it is. So the likeness, right? Again, to me, as of right now, it's a fail. I don't know if this is supposed to be a silicone head sculpt again. I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't recommend it. But again, we don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. At least if you guys know, please let me know what type of head sculpt they're planning on using for this John Wick, because I would assume that they're not going to go silicone again. I think that they should have learned their lesson, right, with this Joker. If they're using silicone again, tells me that they're trying to make that their thing, right? They don't want to do anything else. They want to focus on silicone to, I guess, create their own footprint in the hobby, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're charging already over $1,000 per figure, your first figure was a fail. Nobody liked the figure. It didn't look good at all. Why would anybody be excited to be paying over $1,000 per figure? Doesn't make sense. It is not exciting. It is not going to make anybody be like, oh yeah, let me go spend $1,000 for something that, the first one wasn't even great, So that's the issue with that stuff. When they don't make a great product as their first product, then it's like, what should I expect from them then? That's the problem with making such a big mistake with the very, very first one. Let me see what you guys are saying real quickly, and we'll continue. We got Albert. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Derek, how are you? Happy Saturday. Welcome.
Konnichiwa means what's up.
Let's see. All right, I got everybody. Robust, precise. Keanu's facial expressions are very distinct, hard to recreate physical form. I can tell you the John Wick 2 figure by Hot Toys now, right? When we first got it, we're like, oh my God, it's great. Now you can tell it is not that good. I don't care what anybody says. The hair is kind of funky, and the likeness is The new one, though, okay? The new one, again, way better than the John Wick 2 figure, but it is still, to me, not 1,000%, which you could be 100% right with the fact that they can't get his likeness 100%, which it looks like they can't. But the John Wick 4 figure, like I said, it's right here, waiting to be opened. It is that head sculpt is way better, way better. Michael says it's the mouth and chin and head sculpt that throws it off, makes him look like Hans Gruber. The eyes on this figure are pretty on point. Yeah, so again, I don't like it already. I am not looking to buy this. There's nothing appealing about it. There's nothing exciting about it. Maybe later on, finding out how much this thing's going to be, right? It's already looking like it's rooted beard, rooted hair, which this is what it looks like they're doing for their figures, for the 1/6 scale, right? That's just standard. So maybe down the line, again, if this is going to be another grand, that they could keep it all day long. And one thing I want to point out again, when I say that I wouldn't pay $1,000 for a figure, right? Which already happened with the Anakin. But again, the difference is Anakin was not retailed at $1,000. That's the difference. This, right? The Joker was retailed at $1,000. I would never. That's the difference. I had to overpay for a figure that was 400-ish. On Sideshow, it was 400-ish, right? It wasn't $1,000. We had to pay the markup if we wanted the figure. Number one, it was rare. Number two, it was scarce. Number three, it wasn't just Anakin. It was Anakin more, believe it or not, more so the Hayori version, Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper, than any other figure. Because even Galen, right? Galen and that Hayori were the hardest exclusives to find. And then Galen, everybody got Galen, I feel like. Everybody was able to get a Galen. Anakin, there was a Hong Kong release. So more people got Anakin. It wasn't strictly Japan, right? Remember that Japan was the sleeves that were the exclusive things. But the figure, obviously, Hong Kong got them, Japan got them. So that's the thing. When this is priced at $1,000, I would never be like, oh, your figure, you think your figure is worth $1,000? It is not. I will never pay for it. Anakin was not. Hot Toys didn't say, my figure is worth $1,000, so here's $1,000 price tag on it. That didn't happen. That would never happen. That's what I mean. I would never pay $1,000 for no figure that is retailed at $8,000 because nothing 1/6 scale is worth $1,000. Now, my situation specifically, I paid what I paid for my Anakin because I had no other choice. So it was either don't pay it or don't get the figure. Or either pay it or don't get the figure, right? If you don't pay, you're not getting the figure. So it's either pay it or don't get the figure. Obviously, I'm not going to miss out on the figure, so I have to do whatever it is that I have to do to have the figure. But it doesn't mean that I'm okay paying $1,000 per figure every time there is, there is a celebration. There is a limited. Again, if it comes down to it, it is what it is. I am not looking to do it. I am not happy about doing it. Period. Right? It shouldn't be the norm. But this is the game we're playing. If you don't want to play the game, guess what? You're not going to have the figure. You could do a mic, right? And wait a year and see if the figure will come down in price, right? Because that's the way he gauges, right? He'll wait about a year, depending obviously on the figure, he'll wait about a year and see if it dropped, and then he'll buy it then if it's something that he wants at the time. If not, then it is what it is, right? So that's his way of capitalizing on getting discounts and getting the figure for cheaper. But again, you have to, his words, you got to wait a year, so that's the thing. I don't want to wait a year for my figure. If a figure just came out, I will wait 3 months, 4 months, maybe. And that's only because it'll take Sideshow to start shipping. It'll be released overseas today. Sideshow will start shipping a month from now, right? So that's why I don't mind getting the figure, 2 months after it's released, 3 months after it's released, especially if it's on payment plan. It's not a big deal. But then to wait a year for a figure, why? Again, people do it all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're trying to build your collection on a discounted used collection, or even new, you could get new figures for cheap, right? But why would I want to collect figures from last year now? Again, people do it all the time. I don't like that. I don't do it because I don't like it. Now, if it's a figure that I don't have in my collection, that comes up and it's cheaper, absolutely I will jump on it. But it's not like I'm waiting a year for a figure to be like, oh, well, it's cheap now, let me get it. I would never. I'd rather pay, whether it's retail or whatever it's going for at the moment, then wait a year and hope to save $50, $60, $70. I'm good. The year is not worth the $50, $60 to me. Absolutely not. Even $100 a year, nah. The excitement of the figure to me is gone. Waiting that long. Even I think 6 months for a figure that came out. Like if a figure comes out today and then I wait 6 months, if I have to, then I have to. It is what it is. But is it ideal to me? Never. Never, ever, ever. So let me see what else. Oh, Michael, good morning.
Good morning.
So now, Michael, how do you feel? We know
really quick. So look, I'll take the ball and run with it. So remember though, right? It's $70, right? But think of all the figures that we're buying, right? It's not just $70, right? Multiply that times 10 figures, right? In a 6-month period. That's a free figure.
No. I that's what I said. I know what your mentality is. I know how you would be saving that money. My thing is, again, that personal hype of the figure. Wow, I've been waiting over a year for the figure to be released. It was announced over a year ago. Now the figure's here. Let me wait another year to say. You know what I mean? Like that's my mentality.
I get it.
To have to wait again more for the figure that I've been waiting for a year, or for over a year for already. Again, if your goal is to save the money, absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that. If you can wait, again, like I said, people are doing it right now. People are going backwards years for figures right now, getting them dirt cheap because they don't care. They're growing their collection and they're happy doing so. There's nothing wrong with that. I, on the other hand, number one, being used to Sideshow getting their figures in hand and then immediately shipping, me being one of those, first people getting those figures in hand after Sideshow start shipping, for years, I got used to that, right? So why would I now all of a sudden want to wait? Again, I understand what you're saying with if we're, 10 figures a month, it's not ideal, right? To not want to save that money. So I get what you're saying. But it's like, a year later, it's like, I don't like, there's so much more stuff.
It only came about because, things started to go south on a lot of figures, meaning, things are going under retail. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not just you can't look at, we're saying you're saving $70 a figure, and that's if every figure holds retail.
Correct.
And we well know that it's not happening anymore, that more than 80%, 90% of figures are going under retail.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So by initially saving that 70, if the figure then also is another $70 under retail, $150 freaking dollars a figure, you're spending too much. And I get it. Remember we went through for that 10%, and it's even less. It's like 8%, right? The 8% figure to land that grail figure that everyone's hyped about, that is going to go, $100 over retail, maybe even $150. The averages don't work out. And just, I guess, again, looking at it from a complete monetary point, right? You can
Correct.
say putting it, the value on that, right? Getting the figure quick and getting that quick fix, right? You can say there's a monetary value on it. Having over 500 figures, look, you've seen one, you've seen them all almost. You know what I mean? So you're not going to blow my doors off. Odds are, right? I guess they haven't done it in a while for me. I still think they're great figures, but it's nothing like you're not leaps and bounds improving over what's in the collection already.
Absolutely. And one thing that you mentioned that's a great point too is the fact that you said it's strictly money. You know what I mean? If you want to look at it that way, strictly money, then you got to be smart about it. But if it's about the figure, then obviously you're going to have a completely different mentality. And what you said is what you just mentioned also. If the hobby isn't giving product that is very appealing, that is refreshing, that is something new. Like, for example, I'm going to give you a perfect example. The Agent Venom figure. Okay? Agent Venom figure. That figure, to me, is something new, something refreshing. Why? It was unexpected, number one. I can tell you I never expected Hot Toys to get into that. Especially how they did, right? Making it a VGM line, because of the fact that there's a movie that they're talking about. There's a movie, coming out. There's a possible movie coming out, being made, blah, blah, blah. So that to me was exciting, right? That they got into something like that. Again, there's no head sculpt. There's nothing fancy about it. Right? There's nothing, like you said, mind-blowing. There's nothing that is like, oh my God, I need to have this figure in my collection. But that figure specifically was refreshing to me, was something different, was something that wasn't a 2.0, wasn't something that, again, it was very unexpected. So that's what I like about Hot Toys. Now, in general, a figure is a figure. Right? A figure is a figure. Doesn't matter if it's Star Wars, doesn't matter if it's Marvel. A figure is a figure, right? It's a toy. It is what it is, right? we get involved in this community as much as we are into the figures. That's what determines and dictates how into this hobby you'll be, on top of obviously the money, because that's, you know, number one, you know. But if the money's not the issue, then after that, it's what you think about these figures, how these figures make you feel, what these movies about these figures do to you, whether it's nostalgia, whether it's, you know, you love them, whether it's, you know, so that's what creates the passion. That's what creates the love for the actual figure itself, right? Because again, it's just a toy. But these toys to us have such a greater value than just being a toy, which is why we're spending 5, 6, 7, 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100 on these toys. Whether it's a vehicle, whether it's a, you know, 1/6 scale, whether it's a quarter scale, right? It's what we love to spend our money on. And it is all stupid. Okay. I don't care what you say. It is all stupid. It is a hobby. It's what makes us happy. Right? That's why when I tell you guys, you know, to sit here complaining about a hobby, constantly about dumb shit, it doesn't make sense. Why be in it? Why are you in it if you're going to talk shit about Hot Toys all day long? That is the only company making figures for us to buy. Makes no sense. So that's why I tell you guys what I say, because a lot of people in this community, they don't even know what they're doing in this community. They have no idea. They're just floating around, you know, in groups, trying to fit into, you know, something. It's very common. One thing we talked about recently, how people ask, hey guys, what should I buy? This one or that one? Why are you asking people what you should buy? For what reason? So then you clearly are not in this hobby for yourself, because you're not buying for yourself. You're asking people to tell you what to buy. Why would I ask somebody, hey, can you tell me what to buy? For what? What am I doing here? If I don't know what to buy myself, what am I doing here? If I'm not here for the love of, again, the characters from movies, because that's how you would see them. Characters from comic books. If you're not a fan of that, why are you asking people what to buy in this hobby? Makes no sense. You know? Rob, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Happy Saturday. Thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome. Yes, guys, hit that like button if you haven't. There's 39 of you guys here to Ash, my friend. Welcome.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Look at really the spending of the money. It's more so, look, it's not to say that, you know, it's an expensive hobby. Okay. There's no question about it. You know, $400 average, $300 average cost figures. It's an expensive hobby. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So you want to be smart about it. You know what I mean? It's not like it was 5 years ago when you would say you're putting out some money and everything was holding a value. You could easily get out of it. You know what I mean? There wasn't much risk in spending $10,000 worth of toys, because you could sell your toys for $10,000.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But that's not the game anymore, guys.
Yep.
So that's
and they're getting more expensive. They're getting more expensive and holding less value.
Right.
Yep.
So knowing that, right, being in collecting these things for as long as we have, I don't know. I'm just trying to say to the hobby out there, right? To the hobbyists, the enthusiasts, just don't get crazy. I don't think you need to get. Sure, there's always going to be that one figure that you have to have. Correct. I'm just saying on the majority, I don't know. I feel don't get hung up on the PO. Don't get hung up in that game. You'll be able to get it down the road. And again, you know, and again, maybe it is a year, maybe it's 6 months, but I think you'll enjoy the hobby without having those pressures, you know, on you. You know what I mean? Because again, that PO creates pressures to miss things, and that's not fun. That's not the fun part of the hobby, is missing out on things.
That's a good point that you just brought up. So if you just said, you know, you can enjoy the hobby, how can you enjoy the hobby? And the reason I bring this up, and I'm glad you brought this up, because I was having this conversation with a channel member, and he noticed that YouTubers right? So apparently there was a rumor. There's a rumor going around, which again, it could be true, but it looks like from where he got it from, it is not a good, reliable source, right? So he doesn't know. So what he did was he started going around these YouTubers' channels for information on this rumor. Well, he noticed that all these YouTubers weren't even collecting figures at all. There's no videos of figures on their channels at all. So he realized, hey, and he told me, he's like, hey, you weren't lying. These people don't collect. My response to him was, I'm not crazy. This is all they do is for show, for YouTube. They're YouTubers. They're not collectors. And people fall for the fact that they can make a video, they could give you visuals, and all of a sudden they're reputable and they know what they're talking about. Meanwhile, they don't know anything. So he comes up to me and said, well, he messaged me and said, hey, you weren't lying. These people don't collect. I'm like, of course they don't collect. It's all a show. It's all for show. They were never about this life. They have never been about this life. They will never be about this life. And another thing I said was, if you pay attention to all these YouTubers, they're the ones making all the money. They're the ones making all the views. You would think that with that alone, they would be the ones making all of the YouTube videos, buying all the figures to make the videos. They're here taking all of the money from YouTube, all of the super chats, all of the everything, and doing what with it? Because figures they're not buying. So they're not even putting it back into the hobby. What are they doing with the figure? They're here sucking YouTube dry without having to put any money back into the hobby, which is what they're sitting here milking. And the idiots fall for what is going on. Because how do you follow somebody that is not even collecting what they're talking about? Makes no sense. How can I sit here telling you about figures that I don't even collect? I haven't bought 10 figures in the past, let's say, I haven't bought a figure in the past 8 months. So I don't know what's going on in the figure world. I don't know what's changed. I don't know what's improved. I don't know what's different. How can I tell you anything about Hot Toys? So when you say, you can enjoy the hobby, without having to be all stressed out and stuff, but then how can you be in the hobby involved when you're not buying anything for a year? You know what I mean? Again, not that the year thing is a bad thing, because again, you're saving money. You're looking for deals, right? You're not looking to overspend, and you're not looking to lose money on buying something for retail and then losing $100, $150, a few months down the line. So that's why I tell you, what you say is 100% right to somebody looking to save money in the hobby. But if now you're in the hobby floating around because you're not buying anything, right? Because again, you're looking for the deals. How are you enjoying the hobby, not having anything in hand, buying anything, enjoying any figures that are coming out? How do you explain that?
I think people go, well, look, again, if we're talking, I guess, about the YouTuber, right? They're whatever. I'm assuming, right? They're just even renting figures, right? They're buying it. They're buying it quick, and then they're selling it, and they're getting rid of it. And they're
correct.
Like, they're
correct.
Not, right. But
they're doing for
how
videos.
Can you enjoy the hobby if you're not pre-ordering? You're basically saying, right?
Well, no, not pre-ordering. I'm saying buying. Like, for example, even if you don't pre-order, obviously a figure can come out.
I guess what I'm saying, what you're asking, like if I was coming into the hobby today, if I'm coming in as a brand new collector, right? And it's hard to say because then it's like knowing what I know, but whatever. If I'm coming in today knowing what I know, I would go back, right? I would go back and collect backward, and I would not get anything new. I wouldn't touch one new figure.
So you would just start buying everything old.
Yep. I wouldn't.
Even though, right? Even though, let's say you know this. Let's say it's your first day, but you know this. Now we have a 2.0 line, right? So would you, again, remember, this is a tricky situation because you already know, right? You already know everything. So we're pretending that you don't know anything, but you already know everything. So my thing is, if you knew, right, that there are now better figures, updated figures, 2.0 figures, you would still go backwards knowing
I have
that,
a difference of opinion on that.
Wait. You would still go backwards knowing that now, because there's a 2.0 line, that there is a line that there's a certain amount of figures now that are not 2.0s that will be obsolete.
See, I don't see that. I don't agree with that. Like this whole thing of 2.0 lines, and there's a new version of these figures that are exceptionally better and far more approved than the figure before. I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a second.
How can you say that though, when you yourself have bodies from figures that are 10 years old and bodies from figures that are 1 year old, and
they're not all the same. They're not all the same, right? So yes, there are some shitty bodies for sure,
that's
right?
What I'm saying.
I'm going to say most aren't, man. Most are not. I don't.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Most are not. Most are not what?
We put them fucking on a shelf in a museum pose, and they sit there.
No.
I'm not getting crazy with my stuff.
No, correct.
I'm not yanking it and
correct.
Correct.
But remember that in this hobby, one of the big things of these figures is the posing, right? This is a big deal regarding these figures. That's why these bodies are very important.
Show me. I would say, right? Do a video, Fabs, right? Do a quick Instagram to show me how the 2.0 is so much better than a 1.0, because it might be able to do a little more, but it's inconsequential if you really compare it. Like if it gets a quarter of an inch more bend here to here, like who gives a shit? It still looks good on the shelf. It's a high quality figure. As long as the head sculpt holds up, it's
right.
We're not leaps and bounds. It's not. We're making 2.0 sound like it's 10.0. It's not.
Now, question for you. Using that logic, let's say you were a poser. Okay, you love posing your figures. A lot of people do in the hobby. I don't. You don't. But a lot of people do, which again is one of the main things of these figures. That's why these bodies are important, and Hot Toys has realized that, which is why they're constantly updating and upgrading their bodies to make them that much better. Obviously depending on the figure. If it's a big, bulky, muscular figure, that figure is not doing anything because a big, bulky bodybuilder is not going to do anything anyway. So that I understand, right? When it's a big, bulky, Batman 2.0, that diecast Batman 2.0 coming out from BVS, right? That armor Batman 2.0, right? That is a beefier figure. That is a taller figure. It's got diecast, and so it's already in the accessory sense, it's already improved. In the body sense, it's a bigger body, right? To you may be able to say and justify, well, who cares about the bigger body, right? Fine, which is fine. You don't need a taller figure per se, but articulation, right? Remember that with the 1.0, these big bulky plastic panels that it had on, right? It would limit the articulation to a certain extent. Now you get a 2.0 that when it comes to articulation is slightly better. Maybe not, night and day better, but slightly better. You're a poser. You love posing. You wouldn't be happy and excited that you're able to get better poses out of this 2.0 than your 1.0. Again, as a poser.
Yeah, again, as a poser, it's not there, man. It's not. These 2.0s are not like superposing figures, man. They're not. I don't see it. Am I missing something? I don't see it. I don't see them being that.
Well, no. So the 2.0s aren't
the 2.0 bodies are not that.
No. It's
not showing me the advancements that they're that much more posable than the first one.
No. It's not. No. That's not what I meant. So a 2. Like for example, I'm going to give you an example. A 2.0 body for, let's say, a Terminator, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to be more posable. It just means that it's an updated body, whether it's updated joints, right? It doesn't mean a 2.0 body does not mean better posing, right?
What does it mean?
It could mean that. That's what I'm saying. I want to make that clear because the way you were responding to that, that's not what I meant. So far, anything 2.0 seems to be bigger, right? Again, depending because a Darth Maul
bigger by a quarter inch. I'm with
well,
you.
no. But listen to this. I'm going to be very clear because it's not everything. Like I was saying, Darth Maul Sith Speeder 2.0, right? It may be slightly bigger than the 1.0. Maybe. Again, maybe. I don't think by a lot. So that's what I mean. But if you look at the armored Batman, like I was saying, you compare that to the 1.0, the 2.0 is bigger. It's noticeably bigger too. So that's what I mean. So I didn't mean articulation, but I'm giving as an example. Obviously, as a 2.0, you would expect that articulation is one of the updates, one of the upgrades. That's what I meant. Not that it necessarily means that.
So again, right? So these newer figures are slightly bigger, right? Let's say a quarter of an inch bigger.
Right.
Right. You have 1,000 figures that are arguably a quarter of an inch smaller.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, at my desk here, I have right in front of me these 3 Iron Man figures, those 3 blue Iron Man figures. And I think it absolutely shows off the scales because it's that original 3.0 Iron Man, right? With the red arc reactor. And that one's super short. That one is noticeably shorter.
Yeah, that was the Mark III 1.0.
Right. And now, but to me, that's an outlier, right? That figure is like the shortest Iron Man figure amongst all of them. You know what I mean?
Well, that is your first diecast Mark III.
Okay.
Because
so
remember,
that one, I absolutely see that, being, that one's
sure. Yeah, it's a different scale. It looks like.
Yeah, it looks, but at the same time, it doesn't look horrible, right? Because
correct.
I see Iron Man, right? When Tony Stark gets in an Iron Man, right? Obviously, Iron Man is bigger than Tony Stark.
Correct.
So there can be different, like with all these different Iron suits out there, they all have different sizes, right? They all have different variations. So just because there's a little height variations, and I guess maybe again that's in the Iron Man, it does not bug me at all. It really doesn't. Like I don't say, oh my God, look at they're not all exactly, 6 inches or 12 inches. You know what I mean?
It's funny you mentioned that. I would never put a 1.0 Iron Man next to a 2.0 Iron Man just because the size difference is so big that it looks funky to me. That's why I wouldn't do it. I have all my 1.0s separately from the 2.0s. I don't have anything mixed in because you really see the difference in height, at least. Big difference. So that's why I don't put it on there. We got Tijuana.
I have it all mixed in. It's all I mix it all together.
Tijuana Mike, welcome, my friend.
Hello.
Happy Saturday. Thank you for being here. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. There's 46 of you guys in here. Thank you guys for being here. We got Big Rib in the house. How are you, my friend?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Big Dog says to make a poll. People think the head sculpt is good or not. Oh, I really should. Let me see if I can do it real quick. Bradley Cooper, you bomb. How are you? Welcome. Where have you been? I've been here. Just order War Machine Iron Patriot from Pop Culture 223. War Machine.
Wait, War Machine Iron Patriot.
That's Endgame, the blue one.
Oh, look at man, that thing was that was on such crazy. That was like selling for $150.
Yeah, it was like 180. I remember 180s. I saw it.
It got as low as in the 140s. That's how crazy. A $400 figure in the 140s.
Yep, I remember. Albert, send it to me. Carter says, "Fabulous Howard Chair, Sugar Daddy." Imagine. Ernesto, welcome. How are you?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
I nearly bought a case when they were that price. I'm like, you know what? I can just maybe troop build, and that's where my mind goes, But I'm like, what am I doing? It's just gonna sit in the basement here unopened for a year. What am I gonna do?
Let me see. Man, Fabs, I was going to ask if I should buy. Oh man.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Cassandra, welcome. How are you?
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
How
Happy
many figures do
Mother's
they have
Day.
out now in art? How many total releases does in art have at this point?
I have no idea.
Like, I
Sean,
would guess, like in my mind, it's like if I had to guess, it's like what 5, 6,
maybe
under
6.
10, wouldn't it be?
No, it's definitely under 10. Yeah, probably like 6, 7, maybe max.
I mean, I don't know how you can love that
Yeah.
with such little. You know what I mean? Like, if you say there's such a following out there, because again, I don't see it, but then at the same time, I'm not like
No. They have a following because the people who, can't stand Hot Toys being great are the ones trying to make it seem like Inner is this amazing thing that clearly is not. It's been proven that it's not. They're garbage. Everything that they make is garbage. So anybody attached or anybody trying to still hold on to that company is just a fool. Cassandra, happy Mother's Day. Hope you have a great Mother's Day tomorrow. She says, hurt my foot today. We thought might have broke my foot, but no, just bruised tissue. Cassandra, I have a feeling hanging out with Brad is bad luck. I feel like something always happens to you when Brad is around. I think we should talk about getting rid of him sometime. Maybe very soon, because he's like your bad luck charm. Soaked in Epsom salt, Raptor took measure. There you go. Eric, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello!
Happy Saturday, my friend. Thank you for being here. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. There's 50 of you guys in here. Guys, somebody keep track of the likes for me. I want to know how many likes I have, making sure everybody's cool tonight. I don't want any problem. I need the 2.0s. I think the upgrades on most have been significant.
Explain, Bobby.
Bob, don't explain.
No. Give me it. Let me hear it.
Bob, explain.
Really? Like just don't say it. Like what is the 2.0? Give it what is the great allure of it? I don't see it. I don't get it. I know it's newer, right? I know it's a little bigger, but that's it. It's not. You're gonna try to sell me the the USB function? What do we do?
Well, that's correct. That's another thing, right? The USB, the USB,
which is again on a 1 in a million thing. But again,
right.
Looking at it from the figure, let's not even look at it from the goofiness of it, right? The new one, the figure itself, right? A 2.0 and a 1.0. It's what makes it that much better. Give me the list. Sell me, because look, I'd love to get back in and buy every 2.0, but
now
I'm
question
not
for you.
I'm not going to spend another $400
question
on a figure that I have that is just it's perfect.
Question.
You did a good job the first round.
First, let me say hello to Adam. Adam, how are you? Welcome.
Hello!
If the upgrades of the 2.0 body, right? If Hot Toys came out and said, what you're getting out of a 2.0 body is a bigger body, better articulation, better proportions.
You know what we need to do? Let's put our money where our mouths are. Let's buy a 2.0 figure and let's trash it, right? Like let's rip everything off it down to the naked body and let's compare what it is to the old Hot Toys body. We should do that, because that'll put it to bed. You know what I mean? That'll confirm if there really is a difference in these bodies.
Here's the thing.
Because it's not like the old days where they sold us the first bodies, right? We got to see the underskeleton, right? Because they sold us those bodies for a while, right?
The TTMs, yeah. The true type male bodies.
Which I loved. I loved that. I bought
absolutely.
They were expensive. They were $120, which was literally, guys, double what the next closest body was. Like those Hot Toys true type bodies were an expensive body, but you were buying the Hot Toy body. You know what I mean? You were supposedly buying the best body.
Correct. No, and it was compatible with the Hot
It
Toys
was.
figures too, so that's why it was good to make, doubles and customs out of using those bodies.
But over the years, though, right? Competition caught up. Like the World Box. The World Box bodies
Right.
got good. You know what I mean? And they were half the price. So it's like that's probably why Hot Toys said, let's get out of this game because
Right. Yeah, but I don't think those bodies, worked as well as the Hot Toys bodies did, especially for Hot Toys figures. Their bodies are nice, but I don't think they were comparable to Hot Toys at all.
You don't think the World Box bodies were?
The World Box bodies are great.
As far as like a muscular superhero
no,
body.
that's what I'm saying. They looked great. They looked great as a body, but when it came to functionality, it wasn't a Hot Toys body.
I'm with you. The true type bodies were still at posable wise.
Exactly.
Right.
We got Ash with the super chat. Look at this guy. What is this? A sticker? Thank you, my friend. This guy. Unbelievable. Thank you. And this is for you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, you.
No, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, seriously, you.
No, seriously, thank you, bro.
No, for real, you.
No, thank you.
I was going to say one figure that we could do that with, that would be an easy figure to do that with, would be Darth Maul 2.0, the 1.0 and the 2.0. That's an easy figure because it's just a body with a cloak. You know what I mean? So to be able to see if that figure specifically had a body change, right? That's number one. And then something obvious would be the Armored Batman, 1.0 and the 2.0. Those are going to be night and day and different.
Doesn't Brandon do this on the reg? Doesn't Brandon basically strip down figures, or at least he'll try to buy them used and then part them out?
Right, he does. So he should know the body, but he focuses on Star Wars mostly, not Marvel.
Well, that's Darth Maul, though, right? If he can somehow, like in his travels, lock those two down, that would be a great show to say. I'm going to find out. I'm going to ask him. Because
I mean, what are the chances of him having those bodies to begin with? But got to ask him anyway. Adam Williams says, I started in 2018. The 2.0s helped me get collectibles that I didn't have before. I started in 2018. The 2.0s helped me get collectibles that I didn't have before.
Didn't the 2.0 start later than that? Didn't the 2.0 start?
Well, I don't understand. I think what he's trying to say is, if he missed out on the 1.0s, the 2.0s were his way of being able to get the 1.0s.
Okay, because when I hear 2.0, right, I'm thinking this is like when Hot Toys did that major announcement and said, hey, guys, we underscaled everything. We're going to rescale everything. It's going to be true 1/6 now, guys. Sorry about that. And there's going to be a new Hot Toys 2.0 body, right? So what was that, 22? When did that happen? When did Howard come out and basically stick his finger in my butt?
Well, no, the 2.0s you think started 2022? No way.
When did that? Yeah, when did that video come out? When Howard came out and did that announcement. That was the announcement of the 2.0 rescale. That's what it was. It wasn't really a new body per se in my mind. It was we're rescaling our lines. That's what he said.
Yeah, see, I don't remember, but yeah, the figures are getting bigger. No, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember specifically the video, but I know what you're talking about because I know that happened. I just don't remember, when. I remember the video, but I know something like that happened.
Does anyone in the chat know when that happened? When that Howard?
Guys, there's 42 of you guys in there. Please hit the like button if you haven't yet. How many likes do we have? If anybody can tell me. Big Dog with the super chat. Throw some F's in the chat because in our chat they suck. Unbelievable. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. This is for you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, you.
No, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, seriously, you.
No, seriously, thank you, bro.
No, for real, you.
No, thank you.
So, Big Dog, you bought Atreides directly from Inor? Is that what happened? And they haven't shipped? Explain. He said F. Ash. He said F. Oh my God, I'm a catch. Eric with the super chat, my friend. How is everyone's wallet? Absolutely Absolutely, that is a great
Thank
question.
you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, you.
No, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
No, thank you, bro.
No, seriously, you.
No, seriously, thank you, bro.
No, for real, you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, is everybody getting a little nervous with all these announcements and releases? All I have to say is TK421, shout out TK421. He went from having 0 figures for Celebration. I got my Galen first before him. He was crying about it. He was like, oh, my channel's going to fail that you're getting figures first. And now he's got literally every single Japan Celebration release in hand. He did all the videos already, and I haven't even gotten one yet. Unbelievable. I only track Hot Toys. I think in our releases are less than 10, but I don't know. Yeah, no, it's definitely less than 10. We just wanted to know, how many. But yeah, it's I could tell you it's less than 10. Remember, it was Pennywise. They had the Batman. Like I said, Paul Atreides. They had the Joker. They had Gandalf. Yeah, it's been about between 6 and 8 figures. Brad says, I have a con coming up next week and my wallet is hurting. Oh, cons are the best.
Where's he going?
Which one, Bradley?
What's
Which
coming
one?
up soon? I'm trying to think.
San Diego in June?
No, that's in the summer. That's in June.
Yeah. Ash says, I just put fuel in my car. He said broke his ass. Carlos says, this J&D John Wick is horrible. He looks like, I'm telling you, he looks nothing like what's his name? He doesn't look good at all. To me, at least, if you guys love him, please buy him and send me some pictures. Diecast Iron Man Mark III 2.0 was a great improvement. Plus, the 2.0 corrected the forearm rocket that the first version got wrong. Was that the one that was like upside down or flipped or something like that? I think that's what it was. Let me see. Yeah, bought it directly from their website. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, no, they're annoying. They still have not shipped my good. Well, keep supporting the king. Who is Fabs talking about? And that was someone else. So now, Michael, we're gonna get into the announcements and releases that you didn't go over from Tuesday. So we have, first and foremost, we're going to go over this beauty here. So let's start with this guy. So we have, what's his name? All right, let's go. All right, so we have Boss here. I don't know if you saw these, but these are, new limited releases, something like, 2,500 or 3,000 or whatever. So again, trying to milk us for repaints. We're getting another 3 of these at least. It looks like 1 red, 1 green, and 1 orange on top of Scorch, the gray one and the white one. So are these exciting? See, here's we got this one already in hand. We got this one already in hand.
These are the cartoon clones, right?
Right, from like the Bad Batch and stuff. So, is this exciting? Are you getting into these commandos, or are you skipping all of them?
Yeah, no, not for me. Not no carts. Like I didn't get into the cartoon. I mean, I got into Bad Batch. I thought that was cool, but and again, if this is Bad Batch, that didn't stick out to me. I don't remember these guys that well. You know what I mean? So they're not that memorable from the show. So yeah, no. And again, remember the Bad Batch. The reason I bought them is that because Hot Toys made that decision to make them have lifelike sculpts, right? If they had done a cartoon sculpt, I would have never considered the Bad Batch at all. So
so you like the Bad Batch head sculpts? Yes,
I do.
But they're like realistic, but cartoonish at the same time.
Well, they look like the clone, right? They look like what's his name? Morrison.
Tamora Morrison.
Yeah. They look like him, right? They all have an inbred look to him, so that works.
Inbred look to him. Yeah, it's crazy how they all look slightly the same, right? It's nuts. Right. Which again, understandable because he's the same actor. So if you had to rate these 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I mean, I wouldn't get these. I mean, yeah, I don't even. I wouldn't get these for. I don't know, yeah, like $100. Like really, like
This is literally what they're worth, $100. Like this
yeah,
is not,
I mean, what's the retail on these?
it's almost $300 for these.
Yeah, like like these have to be severely limited for them to keep
Well,
their
but that's the
value,
thing.
right?
That's how they get you with these constant repaints. Is they limit them, they create the hype at a standard or even higher than standard price,
But they're
and they
never
sell
gonna
out
make.
every time.
They're never gonna make a run of. I mean, even 500. You know what I mean? Like they make runs of 1,000 and 3,000, and that's still a ton. That's a lot of toys out there. That's a lot of $300 toys.
Right. And like I said, this is just the beginning. We already have 3. We have the white one up for pre-order. This one's already shipping. It's already people's hand. I think actually, like I said, TK421 just got his also, I believe. So they're already, people are getting them already. And like I said, we're getting the orange one, the green one, and the red one. So there's another 3 more. Holy crap, man.
God bless. Like if this is your thing and you're just like a cartoon Star Wars guy, like God bless. You got your line. You know what I mean? That's cool.
Hot Toys tracking 2025 announced 46, released 43 items that were announced and then released 2025 11. My God, already 11 in 2025, and these weren't even like pre-orders. These were items that were just ready to go. Imagine 11 already. 11 in,
so what is
in
that,
5 months. In 5 months.
$300.
In 5 months, and that's average 300. Because remember, it's more than that. All right, so you haven't gotten one of these. You will never get one of these.
Yeah, I will say that I will never get one of those.
All right, we got next the Elite Squad Trooper, which is another pretty much the same exact concept of what we just saw. This is they're gonna. This is nothing new. What I'm about to say. They're never gonna stop doing this. This is way too easy money for them to make with these repaints, constant repaints. Again, are they good looking? Absolutely. They're very appealing, right? They're very sexy looking paint application on these figures. The fact that they're limited, right? Even more appealing, more exciting, more makes you want it a little bit more, right? And again, they went up and they sold out immediately after they went up for pre-order on Sideshow. So, Michael, how do you feel about stuff like this? Again, these are only repaints, constant repaints. We got this already as a chrome clone with the phase 1 and phase 2 helmets. This one, as you can see, is strictly phase 2 Bad Batch. Yes, no, maybe so.
No, not for me. But again, I see as a pure Star Wars collector, and all I collected was Star Wars. I definitely see the appeal. It's like you said, it's a sleek, dark trooper type, but you know what I see this as, what I was thinking of is that Captain America Avengers black suit. Remember that figure?
Hydra, the Hydra one? No.
The
concept. The concept. You talk about
the concept, right? The black Captain America concept suit, and you could take that body and just make custom trooper. So same thing, right? Rip this helmet off.
Correct.
And you have a sweet body to these could be like background resource
head
troopers.
Head sculpts. You could put random head sculpts on these things and have a whole bunch of different looking troopers.
Look, that's why they sold out. They didn't sell out because of this figure being. I feel like this is a cool base for some cool customs.
Well, what I did with my Chrome Cody that they made, right? I bought a spare Commander Cody head sculpt to put it on there. So my standard Cody from the movie, right, the white and orange, has his head sculpt on, and then I bought a second head sculpt to put on the Chrome Commander Cody. And let me tell you something, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. It looks different. It looks sexy because it's a chrome suit with a head sculpt. Gorgeous.
How many were there?
How many what?
Of these.
What do you mean?
The release? What's the edition
Oh,
size?
the number. Let me see right now.
I mean, I guess I would guess 1,000, right?
No, more than that.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see if he comes up. Let me
You mean
see.
and what's the
Nope.
next number? It would have to be 3,000, no?
Wait, yeah, it was something like that. 2,500. Here it is. I thought it would say it. The bad season doesn't say it on here, but there's a specific number that they made because these were limited. They sold
You have to really read the fine print because, like, sometimes, like on the sideshow listing, it'll say, 1,000 in, American market, or you know what I mean. Sometimes it does get specific enough where you can be like, you know what?
Yeah, 1,500. There you go, 1,500 units.
That's just, I'm surprised they did over 1,000, but that's still, I guess, a short number.
No, that's what they sell out very quickly. The problem is they're very expensive. They're bare bones figures. They come with all. What's the what?
What's the cost? What's the retail?
Like 300 and change, man.
Over 300 for that?
Well, no, it's like 200 and change, but plus tax and shipping and now tariff fee.
Tax, shipping, and tariff. Yeah,
it's gonna be 300 plus. So this is called the Bad Batch. Where is it? The Imperial. The Elite Squad. Here it is. Elite. That's why I messed up. Elite. Here it is. 255 exactly. So 3+. Easy 3+. That's the problem, and this is all molds, reused, repainted a billion times. This weapon we already got with one of the figures on the Bark Speeder. I think the one with the sidecar, right? He came with his Gatling gun. This we've gotten 30,000 billion times already, this gun. And that's it. This we got already with a different figure. I want to say either Scorch or another one of those commandos. We got this specific, board here, right? The base is generic, hands generic. That's your entire figure. Just because there's 1,500.
Look, if I was still collecting troopers, like you buy two, right? With troopers, I always bought two. Always. Like they have to flank somebody, right? I'm always thinking that's how I would pose them. Right. Is that these guys are never going to be a center character. They're going to be flanking characters to, a guy in the front.
See, I do that with the figure. Like, for example, with the gold chrome, right? The silver chrome clone.
Any of those.
I got two. Well, I got two of those. I got two of each. Why? Those came with a phase 1 helmet and a phase 2 helmet. So I got two for that reason, to display one with each helmet.
Right.
These, though, don't have that. So to me, it is unnecessary to buy two. But you would anyway I
would if I was still doing the I would, because you got to have two. They're troopers. They're one's going to show up. One you're going to call in the cavalry, and one dude is going to show up. No, it doesn't. That doesn't.
No, it looks and even just visually, it looks great. It looks better.
Right.
But it's just, man, how they get you. And Big Dog is 100% right about this. He plays us all day, every day with these repaints, and he knows it. But again, if you don't like it, why are you complaining? You know what I mean?
I bet you, here, let's play a game, right? What do you think this figure costs them
to make?
I bet you it's under $50.
$50, exactly, under $50. Absolutely. Number one, you got to remember that these bodies are made in bulk. So therefore, it's cents. It's not even dollars. It's cents. They make thousands of these bodies, right? So that's number one. Number two, the undersuit that they use for every single one of these troopers is cents, okay? So that right there is another thing that they made a billion of. Panels. How many clone troopers have we gotten already? A billion. Therefore, reuse, repainted. That is also cents of these panels and these molds. The weapons, or this already got once, this already got a billion times, and even this long one here that I didn't even notice that they gave us, this here, we've gotten also a billion times. So it's literally only paint that it has changed.
You know what? I would be, again, I understand the diehards who got to have like every variation, because again, I'm like that with Iron Man, so I get it. But I mean, wouldn't people, like, I don't know, I would be thinking like, would I rather have this or go back and get a Death Trooper? What would you want?
Well, a Death Trooper is more exciting than this all day long. But
All day long, right?
But the thing is,
now, isn't a Death Trooper cheaper?
right? But what the thing is, obviously, yeah, it makes sense if you don't have a Death Trooper. Oh, forget this. Let me go backwards for the Death
Right,
Trooper.
yeah, for a
Right.
new guy coming in, he doesn't have two.
Absolutely. But here's the thing, though. As a new guy, you see this. You see the hype around this. You see the scarcity of this. You see
But
how
that's who I'm speaking to, by the way, Fabs. Like that's who I'm thinking I'm talking to, right? Being as someone who's been in the hobby I'm trying to talk to that guy who's getting in it. Like, I wish someone would have said this to me when I was getting in. You know what I mean? To say, don't look at that.
You should have messaged me. You should have messaged me. I would have told you.
Go double go take that same money and go get 2 Death Troopers. You'll be far more happy.
Well, so now question. So do you like the people who I mentioned earlier that are in the group saying, hey guys, do you think I should buy this or this? Do you like
no, I can't stand those.
So how would you want to help somebody asking for help like that? Because you're saying you're talking to the people, you're talking to a specific.
Yeah, but that's just I hate that, but that's just an indecisive goofball. You know what I mean? Like, if you gotta, that's just someone who's unsure about
where they put their money, right?
Yeah, and I get it too, because it's a lot of money. So he's like, what to.
But again, I don't mind that, like, people doing that. I never, comment on there. Now, unless they ask me directly, I never, get people post. I just mind my business with stuff like that, because, everybody's got their opinion and blah, blah, blah. So I never get involved with that. But if somebody asks me, hey, what do you think? I tell them all the time. And how I explain to them is I give them every angle of the figure. So when it comes to value in the long run, when it comes to, previous figures regarding that figure, when it comes to, future value, when it comes to how limited it is, when it comes to, all these things, anything that I could attach to the scenario, I will, to give that person the best way to decide how to pick, whatever it is. Whatever they decide, that's their problem, but I will give them all the points regarding each figure so they could decide,
There's just so many better figures. There's so
Absolutely.
much more.
Not so much better, but more exciting and more appealing. You know what I mean? This thing doesn't have anything, that doesn't even have, a single color on it. Besides the visor being green, it's all gray. That's it. Nothing that pops, nothing that is like, oh, look at that, that's cool. Nothing. This is the most generic thing in the world.
But I mean, I like the stealthiness to it. I got to admit, I see that as something.
Absolutely. My favorite color is gunmetal.
You can make your Bad Batch. You could do a different version of the Bad Batch, or an extended Bad Batch. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, this is my favorite color. My floor, my walls, all gray. My floors, all different types of dark gray, light grays. My favorite color has always been gray. Gunmetal, more specifically, is my favorite type of gray. So I love it. That's why I will always buy these things. It's just they're a slap in the face.
Which I think this looks better than, like, if this was on a Stormtrooper, I would hate it. Like, that's my least favorite, actually. Stormtrooper is the blacked out one.
Oh, the Shadow.
The Shadow Trooper, yeah. I don't know. Because again, it just doesn't work for me in black. I just don't. I think that's the only Stormtrooper I don't have, actually, is the black one.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny, they already made a second version of it. I don't have the first one, and I don't have the second one.
It doesn't appeal to me.
No. It's not that I don't. It's not that I don't want it. I love the black look, but what's happening is I bought the white one with the environment, and I was like, oh man, these black ones are sitting. I'm going to be able to get that later on for cheap. That's why I haven't gotten it, because I know I'm going to be able to get it. They're going to be on Sideshow, thrown away for 40% off at some point. So that's what I'm waiting for. And maybe I'll be able to get another white one and maybe a couple black ones and do that, because they look, those environment diorama things look beautiful.
I know. Okay, now I know what you're saying. The red back.
Correct. The red and the white. Yep, exactly. So I want 2 reds and 2 white, but I haven't even gotten a single Shadow. Aaron, my friend, welcome. How are you? I feel like I haven't seen you. Long time.
Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa means what's up.
Yes, guys. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great day. So now, Michael, 1 to 10?
Nothing crazy, right? I don't
A 6? A 6?
know. 3.
Damn. Yeah, this is more appropriate for that.
Damn!
I could see myself, I could end up at a super discount, you know what I mean? I could see myself grabbing it, but it would have to be really cheap.
No, it'll be good. It'll be nice. It'll be nicey nice. So now, I know this is one of your favorite shows. You've brought it up before. How do you like the Darth Vader? Appealing, exciting? Is it something that you are planning on getting? Are you getting anything Hono, first of all?
No Hono.
So you're not getting anything Hono? You're not even planning on thinking of even buying one piece to say, hey, I bought a Hono figure?
Nope, not one.
Nothing. So this is not appealing. This is not exciting.
Hono is a right. It's a lesser hot toy, right? It's
Right.
a not so deluxe hot toy that
It's
doesn't appeal to me. Yeah.
It's a cheap hot toy.
It's a cheap hot toy.
Right.
It's a scaled down hot toy.
Right. That's another thing about this Darth Vader. It looks small. It looks thin. I mean, it looks tall, but he looks small when it comes to like width, you know?
I hate that look, that cartoon look. It make that his helmet is just too thin at the top there. Just I can't. And the snout is exaggerated. I hate it.
The snout. Yeah, no. See, that's what makes
it is, right?
No, it is. But the fact that it looks funky is what makes it appealing. You know, it's different. It's not your standard look. But look how cheap this cape is. Look how thin that is. You know that is the cheapest fabric in the world. They didn't even bother stitching it. They literally just cut it, and that was it. Look at it. So this is your entry grade stuff. This is your cheap stuff. This is your.
Well, it's stylized. You know, maybe I don't even want to go that it's just so such a stylized look that it's just so not my thing. It just I want lifelike, movie like sculptures, right? I want. Right. This stylized, this is like a Picasso, which again, I'm not a fan of Picasso. So, hey, go figure, right? I don't like that stylized look. It's not.
All right,
not
so 1 to 10?
Oh, this one's good. I mean, it's Darth Vader, so I'll give it a 1. I like Darth Vader.
I'll give it a 1. Oh my God. Unbelievable. No respect, guys. No respect for the guy. For the main guy. Now,
no homo.
Now, Michael, we know that you have been the #1 voice for a Phantom Menace movie line. Okay. So this was, I believe, this was one of the figures in the past that you couldn't wait to be announced. How do you like it? How many are you getting? Are you displaying both looks?
Do you really like Jar Jar? Seriously?
As a figure, yes. As a character, no.
Yeah, everything annoys me about him. He's something, I wish could be erased from the lore.
Erased. Wait, so explain, how do you like the figure? Looks wise.
The figure looks good. Right? It does. I think the figure looks, I maybe even go as far as to say the figure looks great. You know what I mean? It looks
absolutely.
It looks like that dumbass. Sure, it looks like Jar Jar Binks, and
oh my God,
I just can't. I can't. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, it looks good. It looks good for a Jar Jar. If you like Jar Jar,
which head sculpt do you like better? Which look do you like better?
The non-cheesy one. And the non-smiling one.
Faz, when are you doing another collection video? Mike, do you have a collection video? No, Mike does not have a collection video. He does not feel the need to get harassed over his collection, so that's why he never made one. Explain.
I showed a little bit of my collection behind the scenes one night when I took my iPad around the room and showed off my hoard.
Yep. Only a few people that were backstage were lucky enough to see the tour. Not many. He has never made a video. That's the whole point.
That's for sure.
So now, if you had to pick one of these two, which one do you like better? Which one's more appealing? Which one's
Left, the non-smiling, the left one. Yeah, I would go with
How do you
the stone.
how do you like these teeth?
They look good.
Right?
They look like horse teeth. Yeah,
They look
good.
horse teeth. They look really good, like very, very good. You know, how do you like the eye, the interchangeable eyes? Do you think it's cool, it's necessary? Do you like it? Do you not like it?
You know what? Because what else is this figure coming with, right? So makes sense because there's such a lack of. There's no gun. There's no sword.
Correct.
There's no.
Correct. Literally, this is it.
Yeah, what that? I don't even really remember that. That was that thing that he like dropped.
Right. Now, question. As you can see, this is a brand new head sculpt. This is a brand new body, right? This is a brand new sleeve for this thing. This is all brand new. From experience and from being around, right? Just from being in the hobby, you know that this is going to get reused one way or another. Do you think they will do the second version of Jar Binks with a different outfit to reuse this, or you think this is it?
I think what, to be honest, I saw a I don't know what it was for, right? It was on either a TV commercial or either on YouTube or on TV, but there was like there's like a Darth Jar Jar, right? There's a Sith version of Jar Jar.
I saw that.
You saw it too, right? Like I could see that, right? Couldn't you see that? I could see them doing a Sith version of Jar Jar.
See, I don't know about that. Where would that be from? What would that be labeled?
Well, like, isn't it like in a video game, or isn't it like? Couldn't they call it a comic concept?
I did see a dark Jar Jar, but I don't know where it's from. I don't know, what it would be called or anything.
I don't know if they would do a second version of Jar Jar, because, like, again, you're. I guess if this one sold bonkers, maybe, right? I guess they would test to see what the market is, but.
Right, I think that would be the deciding factor if it does well,
I'm surprised they didn't do him with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I thought, why not put him with some kind of droid or something in some kind of 2-pack,
Right, that is true. That is very true, because we need that Anakin, He should have came with Anakin. Actually, that would have been a great double pack, him with Anakin, because if he's not getting a lot, as you can see, another figure next to him would have been perfect, especially an Anakin. Anakin doesn't really need to come with much either. You know what I mean? He doesn't need a lightsaber.
This is so basic, right? You're right. Because then you probably could have got away with charging $500.
Absolutely,
everyone wants that Luke.
They would have gotten away with overcharging if they felt like it. They would have gotten away with overcharging us because everybody wants that Anakin. 100%, 100%. That is a great point. Absolutely. Moose, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. Nice to see you. I haven't seen you. I'm going to see if I can somehow fit Balin's cloak for Jar Jar. Ooh, look at that. That's a good idea, no? Bob says Annie and Bare Bones C-3PO would be amazing. There you go. Exactly.
That would be a good 2-pack.
Yep. Very basic, nothing too fancy. Again, he doesn't come with much anyway, so he could have been a 2-pack, no problem. No problem. But I'm telling you, the figure looks nice, man. The figure looks very nice. It's gonna feel nice. It's silicone arms. The texture is gonna be awesome. It's just these aliens are very.
Is there a seam at the shoulder joint, or no? It's seamless.
There's got to be a what do you call it? A seam there. But the problem is the vest is covering it, so you don't really see it much. But it's there. I could tell you this is not a one whole body. Like She-Hulk. Absolutely not. There's no way that they would spend that money on a body like that.
I was gonna say, don't you think again for $400, like we should be getting there, in my opinion, right? I think we should be getting that seamless Jar Jar there. You know what I mean? Why not?
Absolutely, but the problem is, we could easily demand everything, right? Whatever we think of, right? We would want. The problem is, again, this is where what I always think about. You have to think of it as the business, right? Also, and you have to understand that when they put money into R&D, right? For example, to develop this body, to develop the skin texture, to develop, to work on the silicone, all these things take money, right? So once you put in all this money to come out with this as a final product, me as a business owner would not want to just use that one time and then have to, now let me pay for more R&D to develop another thing, right? They do it all the time anyway. But my point is, why not utilize the thing over again? Which again, I understand why they do it over and over and over, because it only makes sense when it comes to money, right? It doesn't make sense.
How tall is he?
Huh?
How tall is Jar Jar?
How tall he is? 33 centimeters tall. So he's about what? 33 centimeters is how many inches?
I don't know, but couldn't this? I mean, is it a tall figure? Is Jar Jar really tall?
It's a tallish figure. It's got a little. Look at it.
Like I guess comparing it to the other.
Well, compared to Padme, he's gonna be taller than Padme. I can tell you that.
Like I was gonna like, could this inner frame be She-Hulk?
That's a good point. I mean, actually, no.
I just don't know.
No. It can't.
12.9. What's 13 inches.
It can't be. I'm going to tell you why. She-Hulk is a single body. It's all silicone. It's one body. There's no like removable joint.
I'm saying there could be parts with if She-Hulk is 12.9 inches. I'm gonna say.
Oh, you mean like the under thing of the
right,
sleeve,
just like the bits in
the plastic, the plastic frame. Yes. Oh, it absolutely could be 100%. But here's the thing, though. The reason why I'm saying it's not is because if you look at this body, the arms you could pop them in and out. She-Hulk, you can't. So it's got to be a different body all around, because remember that one has to have the holes for adding the arms and removing the arms with She-Hulk's body.
Well, we don't know that because the silicone covers that in the She-Hulk. We don't.
Correct. So then that's what I'm saying. But it still looks to me. No, it could be, but I don't think so. It could. I think it's two different bodies. 13 inches. That's what she said. So 33 centimeters is 13 inches. So yeah, it's a tall body. Like I said, it's going to be bigger than Padme. I can tell you that.
No. You know what? She-Hulk was 13.9.
Yeah, it's a different body. It's got to be a different body. Because again, just from the arms alone, right? It could be the same frame, absolutely.
I can see some parts being shared there in those two big, tall, lanky figures. I bet you there is. Like, I could see those legs being used with some extenders.
Possibly, yeah. And everything's covered up.
Like, I don't think again, when you talk about like R&D like that, like I don't think they're doing some great one-off thing here for Jar Jar. Like, I don't think that, like, the R&D went into Jar Jar, that probably the R&D had to go into Grievous.
You mean
right?
this is less and Grievous is more R&D?
I would think so. No.
Well, R&D for
because with all the problems that Grievous had with Sideshow, I bet you Hot Toys was like, we can't risk that happening.
Well, it's all loose joints. It's all joints. That's the problem. It's a lot of joints, but the way that the figure is, it's the type of joints that it is. I think that's what makes it more tedious. And if you can't figure out a way to keep those joints tight, which is what happened with Sideshow, those things are loose as hell. I think that's what's gonna obviously make that figure so much better. That Hot Toys is going to be able to keep those joints nice and tight to be able to pose the figure, which you can't really do much with the Sideshow one. But yeah, R&D for this is not as much as the Grievous. I would think so. I would think so too. Look at that. Look how different the head sculpts are. Look at that. That's crazy. Look at the hand texture. Look at the paint on the hands. Look how crazy detailed that is. Look at the fingernails. Really, really nice. So what did you 1 to 10?
I don't know, 1 to 10. I mean, it looks good. It looks like Jar Jar. I mean, again, if you like Jar Jar, right? I'm trying to be non-biased as a non-Jar Jar hater, right? So it looks good. I'll give it a I'll give it a
2.
It doesn't come with shit though. I'll give it a 6.
Right. He comes with, it's like bare bones, just that ball, and that's it. Even the base,
It comes in blue balls. That's it.
right? That's it. And then it's got the base, the most standard base ever. We don't even get any of these Geonosis droids, do we? Let me see. Which would have been nice at least. Say we didn't even get that.
His fingers are flexible.
His what?
You think his fingers are flexible?
No, absolutely not. We would be.
You know, like weren't Hulk's fingers flexible? Didn't Hulk have like a? You could move his fingers in his big hand.
Which Hulk?
The Age of Ultron Hulk.
Oh, I don't remember. Maybe a little bit. I don't remember.
I think so. No.
With mine, I have mine with fists on, so I don't know. But maybe you know, possibly. Wired. Why you're talking about wired fingers, right?
Yeah. Like again, why not? You know, give us that.
It's possible. It's possible. And then obviously, guys, we have more action. Mo. Michael. Droidika. Exciting, not exciting. Did you order? Are you getting any? And if you are getting any, how many would you get?
You know what? I didn't order this.
Me neither.
Didn't PO it.
Me neither.
I want it though.
I need one. Definitely one.
I would never buy one. Isn't that weird? This is 2 or nothing.
See, I said the same thing. I said you need one. I would want one like this, one in this shape, and then obviously one like this, right? But these things look kind of big. MRC took a video of, I guess, when he was picking up his Indiana Jones figure. And right below it, the Droidika was there, right? Just being displayed. And he took a video of it, and you can see it. And the figure is actually kind of big for what it is. It looks big. It looks like it's a bulky figure. So it actually looks really nice. The thing is, you know, to get 2 of these, I don't know how much room, you know,
you're telling me you would put it in that bunched up pose? Like, I would never in a million years.
Well, I would do it if I were to get 2, I would have this look and I would have the ball. Absolutely.
No,
I would have this look here.
Both be in the background, again, flanking maybe both sides of my display, maybe one in each corner, and then, you know, troopers or something, you know.
Or even this look
all scrunched up like that.
Or even this look here, and then the fully formed this one. See how they're different? So I would have those 2.
You're a trooper to me. You know what I mean? It's still like in that mentality that there's got to be 2. You're never going to have one roll up.
Right. Well, same thing with the Geonosis, same thing with the B2, right? You don't always just want one.
Oh, please, Geonosis. That I mean, I could have ordered 2 cases if I really
if you had
my way with it.
So 1 to 10, and how many are you getting?
This I like. This I'll give. I think looks pretty solid. I like that color. I like that brownish copperish color paint scheme they did there. You know, so all the paint looks good on it. So I mean, I'm really ranking it good for the paint. I'll give a 7 because I think the paint is pretty good.
And what do you think about this? Brad says these guys should come with the photon shields.
Too big. I know what he's saying, like a big plastic bubble shield, right?
Well, like they did for Tony. Remember that Tony Stark Mark 85 special edition shield?
Yeah.
That clear thing. I don't know how that would work on these, you know.
Just takes up more room in the display, but I get it. I agree though. That would make sense to me.
Mitchell, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Hello. I'm paying over $200 for one of these. I'm good with the classic Stormtrooper.
How much? Yeah, how much are these?
These are I think they're out. I think they're waitlisted. Oh no, they're pre-ordered. 265. 265. They're I should really pre-order mine now, but the thing is,
I mean, I would love this at $165.
Yeah, exactly, right? See, I would need this look and this look. I don't care really about the bowl much, but these 2, 100%.
I mean,
but again, they're very bulky.
You think this could end up being like the droid set?
Well, the thing is, you never know how many they make. You never know. You know what I mean? You find out when everything's gone, and then you can't find them. Then you're like, oh, I guess they're sold out. That's my fear with them. Again, they look like they're kind of intricate too. They're not your standard, very boring stuff. There's a lot going on, very detailed. Again, you get 3 transformations, so it is very appealing. It's not super expensive, right? $265 is not terrible for what it does. Again, it's going to feel very cheap, most likely, but it is going to be a beautiful, beautiful figure.
I don't know. If I missed this, I would. There's just no. I wouldn't feel bad whatsoever. It's not like
no. It's not about that.
Yeah.
It's not about feeling bad. It's not like your collection is not going to be worth, what it would be with it. It has nothing to do with that. But like for example, if I'm like, man, I can't find the figure, it bothers me because then I'm like, I should have pre-ordered it. That's where I go. I don't go like, oh man, I missed out. Blah, blah. I'm like, man, I should have just pre-ordered. But like I said, I'll get it eventually. It is what it is. I'm not worried about it. These Droidikas need the energy shields. These are too much money for what they are. Yeah, no, they're kind of I mean, for what they do, I don't think so, right? You get 3 different modes, 3 different looks.
I think he's right. I think he's actually right. I think they are too much money for what they are.
No, they could be, because again, it's not much to them, but the fact that they have all these functions, I think you could kind of justify. Like right now, I have $100 and something in points. I would most likely use those points on something like this just to pay, like,
I love how you look at points like it's not money.
No, because to me, it's less painful. Well, to me, it's less painful seeing it that way than having to pay $265 plus tax and shipping and tariff for something like this. You know what I mean? Rather than use some points on it and then owing 160 over 260.
Or just wait. And maybe get it cheaper with no tariff.
Correct. Or just wait. Correct. Exactly. Which is,
I think this is a wait and see figure.
Right. I think Bob's doing the same thing. Bob's waiting too. He didn't pre-order this, and he's gonna wait to see, when he can get one.
265, right? 265, 20 tax, 265, 75, 85. I'm gonna be at 300 with shipping, 315 with the tariff, 315, 315.
Yeah,
for a Droidika.
That's what I'm saying.
No thanks.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm telling you, I would put the points in to make it seem like it's not that terrible. Obviously, points are money, but it's like, that's how I like mentally justify, like, all right, it's not that terrible. But either way,
Ash is a little lib. Oh no.
Ash is a little lib, he said.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Okay. All right, so what did you rate this? 7, you said?
I gave it a 7.
7. All right. And then, guys, last but not least, we got some really good action. Well, actually, no, we're not. It's not the last. So, Michael, your biggest idol. So we have Indiana Jones from the new movie, right? Aged. I think after this head sculpt is out, I think we may get a Thunderbolt Ross. I have a feeling. I don't know. But, maybe not. But I think they're going to reuse this head sculpt again. They have to. It is a very good-looking head sculpt. How do you feel about the figure? Do you like the figure? Are you getting the figure?
No. But I saw this and I thought it looked good. I did see the head sculpt and I did think it looked. I think it looked pretty good. Hot Choice does a good job at the older figures.
The texture.
So
his scar. Look at the
man.
scar.
He looks old, don't he? He looks rough.
Yeah. Look at his scar right there. Perfect. This whole chin scar. They nailed that. His
tie
likeness
looks good. The jacket looks
everything.
good.
Everything looks great. Also, guys, I want to point something out. So for those who follow me on social media, I posted the original DX05 Indiana Jones figure a few days ago. For those who look at those pictures, and you may have noticed that the hat looks very funky on the figure. Somebody commented on that and mentioned it. The reason why that is, right, specifically on the pictures with the hat on, is the DX05 comes with two separate hair pieces for the hat use. So one is specifically to be used with the hat, and one is to be used without the hat. I use the one to use without the hat because the one with the hat looks funky. It's got like a huge indentation there to make the hat fit on the head, no problem, right? I wanted to be able to get the looks without the hat also. So what did I do? I used the hairpiece that looks nice without the hat, and I just happened to put the hat on top, which is why it looks funky. The person goes, "Oh, the hat looks ugly." I said, "It is not the hat." So I explained the whole situation, that the reason why it looks funky is because I'm using the wrong hairpiece for it, not that the figure looks like crap, because the figure looks beautiful. So I just want to point that out because it happened. I would just assume Sideshow isn't receiving shipments anytime soon. Oh, that's another thing, you know. I'm glad I pre-ordered. I didn't pre-order this guy, and I hope I'm not in trouble because I need one. I guess the China tariff talks are going well, according to King's post. They'll show some upside to the situation. Yeah, it's got to get fixed. It's got to get fixed. It's got to get fixed. Got a good homie. I got a good homie.
It doesn't gotta get fixed, right? We gotta get it even Steven. That's it.
No. When we talk about fixed, we talk about us not having to be paying for tariffs. That's what I mean fixed. That's what we mean fixed. Not like that the country should not be making money. No, that's not what we're talking about. We need the tariffs for the country to be what it used to be. Period. It's going to keep happening. They're not going to stop. What we want is to not be affected by these tariffs. That's it. We're not saying that we don't want the country to be rich. We're not saying that the tariffs are not going to work. We're not saying any of that. But right now, just getting a package from China is sucking. Okay? Just to get the package is sucking. So that's what we mean. We don't want to have to deal with any of that.
Okay, I got my notification for the stupid oh gosh, what is it? The giant thing that's coming in. Oh my god, the sand trooper thing. The giant lizard.
Oh, the dewback.
The dewback.
So what are you going to do now?
$35 each. $70 tariff fee.
That's not bad. Because remember, you're paying because of the price. The price is ridiculous on that thing.
Still, that's like ugh.
That's what? That's half a figure?
I would almost rather, like, I don't know. I want to say, like, just hold it. Just keep it in China until I'm ready.
Keep it in China until I'm ready. No, I'm telling you, it depends on the price of the item. It's gonna suck. Like I said, my Iron Man tariff fee was $24. The figure was $400, and I owed $180. Then all of a sudden, it's like $210. I said, "What happened here?" Tariff fee. And remember, we ordered that figure. At least, I ordered that figure before the tariffs hit. So why all of a sudden are we getting hit with tariffs from something that we ordered beforehand?
Right. That's the kind of scummy thing, right? Is that we pre-order for their benefit so much. You know what I mean? So
yep,
we're kicking the balls and both ends. It just
absolutely that's what sucks. Exactly. I got a notification from Sideshow that Darth Maul with Speeder 2.0 and Miles G. Yes, guys, that is true. I got my notification for Darth Maul as well. I didn't pre-order Miles G or Spider Punk from Across the Spider-Verse, but I have them coming. That's the only two figures I need from that line. Are my Miles is coming from Sideshow. Miles G I have to get at some point, and Spider Punk as well, because I have to complete that line. That line is a great line. So Michael, how do you like the head sculpt 1 to 10, and how do you like the figure overall 1 to 10?
I think the head sculpt looks good. So I think it's pretty good actually. So I would probably give the head sculpt 8 out of 10.
Yeah, he looks great.
Figure wise though, this falls into that the DeLorean, right? The Back to the Future for me. You know what I mean? Love the movie, fan of the movie, enjoyed the movie. I don't need the figure on my shelf though. I just not that big of a fan where it comes, into my collection space.
How do you like the leather jacket? Do you think it looks nice?
Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks real good, don't you? I think that. I mean, that
Yeah.
stands out to me as like something
Yep.
that looks better on this one for sure.
Yep. The weathering on it, the way that the shiny, the shine on the leather is, is glowing. Look at that nice gloss. He looks sharp, believe it or not. It looks
If
like
you
a
can
sharp
even probably
figure.
get away using this body, and maybe just using the younger head sculpt, you know what I mean? Like, could do that, right?
If you could get that to work, but I can tell you this. The head sculpt of the old figure is smaller, way smaller than this head sculpt. I can tell you that. So I don't know how funky that's gonna look,
I don't
But
think
if you
it's
could
way
pull it,
smaller.
but if you could pull it off, that'll be a great look,
I think it could. I think it could.
So would you give it an 8 overall?
Yeah, I'll give it an 8.
Yeah, no, it looks great. Like I said, I didn't pre-order this guy. I need him ASAP. Once I'm done paying off a few figures that I owe something like
Where does he go then? Where does he end up in your collection? What shelf?
So I have the original DX5 with I ended up making a custom for the second look of it, right? So I bought a second head sculpt. I bought a body. I bought the same pants. I bought a separate set of shoes. I bought the shirt. And then I used that whole wrap setup that he came with for the DX05. So I have 2 Indiana Jones figures, the standard with the whip, the one with the covered up, thing. And this one's going right next to that one. So I'm going to have all 3 together on the same shelf.
So they're by themselves in a detail.
By themselves. Yep. Because nothing else really goes with them. So that's why I leave them separate. And then but I'm excited for the figure. It's like I said, expect a Thunderbolt Ross because they have to reuse this head sculpt for something. There's not just gonna be like, oh, let's just use it one time and that's it. No, I have a feeling Thunderbolt Ross is coming. Even if the movie didn't do well, but it's something for them to hope to make some money on that head sculpt. So I think it's still coming.
Yeah, I'd rather have a Thunderbolt Ross than a Red Hulk. To be honest.
Absolutely, and remember, all they got to do is add the mustache, if they want to do that look, or because remember that for his standard look, he had no mustache in the movie, so they don't even have to add the mustache. You just have to give him a slightly different hair and a different look, slightly different expression, maybe, and that'll be it. Which guaranteed they most likely did that, right, if they decide to do the figure. Hot Toys need to use leather more on Star Wars figures. Yeah, to a certain extent, depending on what it is, yes. And I think they will. I think they will start using more. Looks like Joe Biden. Looks like Joe Biden. Where's Yelena regarding US? Yeah, so guys, that's what we're going to get into now. So our last topic, guys. So thank you for that, Big Dog. Michael, last but not least, the main event, what people have been dying for, waiting for, expecting forever and ever. Tell us how you feel about this. What do you expect about this? I know you haven't seen the movie either, but as you can see, we have Taskmaster, Bucky, Yelena, Red Guardian, and Ghost. We don't have U.S. Agent, which everybody noticed immediately. How do you feel about that?
I saw the movie.
Oh, you did?
I did.
How was it?
It was good. I think people are making it better than it was. Like, obviously, I'm not going to say much, but it was good. It wasn't. What's my favorite one of all time is the Winter Soldier movie, right? So I wouldn't go to say it holds a candle to that. No.
So it's not even that good.
No. But I mean, but it's better than well, I guess you get from comparing it then to Captain America, the one that just came out with the Red Hulk. Yeah, it's better than that movie. But like some people are calling this like, Marvel's back. You know what I mean? Marvel's back, baby. This is better than Infinity War and Endgame. Like, no, don't get crazy now. It was good. It didn't, I don't know. It was good. It's just, I don't know. I can't say much though, right? I got to be careful.
You don't want a spoiler?
I
You
don't
don't
want to
wanna
spoil it
spoil
for
it?
anybody. It's
You
too
don't wanna
new.
spoil it? Yeah, so I haven't seen it yet. Thank you for.
I think they're
inviting-
making. Well, you know what? Well, I don't want to say it because I think they're making
Well,
most of
if
these.
it's in
figures.
the trailer, you could say it. Obviously.
I don't know if it's in the trailer or not.
Well,
you know,
I'm going to tell you who's in
someone-
the trailer. I'm going to tell you who's in the trailer. So you have Sentries in the trailer. The Void is in the trailer. You have obviously U.S. agents in the trailer. You have all these guys in the trailer on screen. And then apparently there are some cameos too, which again I don't know who they are, but there are some cameos. So I don't know. I don't know about
They're
that.
not going to make a Void. No way. No.
They
Of course
could.
they're going to make a Sentry. Of course.
They could because a Void is just a dark Sentry.
Look, I don't think they did him that great in the movie, to be honest. But what can you do? It's a black mask, so it's not much.
Right.
The Bucky, we have so many Buckies. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not excited for another Bucky. I'll be honest. Yelena too. I'm not. What do we have? I have the white suit Yelena, so they're going to give me a black suit Yelena. You know what I mean?
Correct.
The Red Guardian, 100%, probably the most excited for the Red Guardian figure. I'll take the Ghost as well. The Sentry. I mean, they obviously the guy that got cast, could have been worse, right? They almost cast that Asian guy as the Sentry. They would have really effed things up if they did that. So, but he wasn't bad. He was good. He wasn't great, but he was good.
I don't think we'll get any. I need a U. What is a U?
I think what? I think we will get them. I
said the same thing. I said I think just because he's not there doesn't mean they're not going to make him. I think he's coming. They have to tease.
Oh,
something.
U.S. agent? Guys, 100%. 100% we're getting a U.S. agent.
Right? Just because they're not showing it doesn't mean it's not coming.
Like if I had to rank, let me say this again, seeing the movie, if I had to rank the figures of what's coming, Yelena is first.
Right.
Like that's the number one figure is going to be Yelena. Number two is probably going to be
Bucky.
No, I wouldn't even give it to Bucky, to be honest. But
Really?
Number two figure, I would probably say is going to be Guardian or U.S. Agent. So they're right there. So it's going to be Yelena, Guardian, or U.S. Agent. Number four figure is probably Bucky, and then.
Now, question: You think they're gonna throw in U.S. Agent into the mix, like when they're announcing these? No, it's got to be after.
No. How could he? U.S. Agent has got to be in here just as much. He's important. I thought U.S. Agent was more important than Bucky in the movie.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. He's coming, and I think the only reason why they may have him separately is because we may have a special figure. We may get a head sculpt from him. We may get a second, you know what I mean? 2 head sculpt figure type deal with him. So maybe that's why he's not included. But like I said, I haven't seen the figure, and I could tell the movie, and I could tell you the figure's coming. There's no way that they're not making him. There's no way. That's a Captain America. How they're not gonna have a Captain America as part of the team. So I think
he's a scumbag Captain America, but
right, exactly. Maybe one.
I want him. I actually want him unhelmeted. I really hope they give us a no helmet. I want him holding his. I want a non-helmeted U.S. agent for sure.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. We may get a head sculpt and a helmeted look, right, with the mouth plates like your standard Captain America figure.
And I think we're going to get a helmeted Red Guardian. We will not get an unhelmeted Red Guardian. The only version of the Red Guardian is going to be helmeted.
Correct. There's no need for an unhelmeted one. Correct.
I don't see them going. Even though it would be cool to get that.
Correct. Even though, again, and another thing, remember that when Hot Toys does something, it's taken directly from the movie. So he appeared in the movie without the helmet, plenty with the red, with the outfit on, without the helmet on. So it's a possibility, right? If they want to get into the head sculpt.
Right.
They teased them already with the helmet on. Can they make the head sculpt? Of course. I don't think it's necessary. But again, they could do whatever the hell they want, you know?
And then I think, like that ghost figure, I could see them giving us that figure with no head sculpt.
Correct. There's no need for a head sculpt for Ghost.
Even though she appeared plenty.
No,
with,
of course, absolutely. There's no
see them skipping that.
There's no reason to give us a head sculpt for Ghost, and there's no reason to give us a head sculpt for Taskmaster. I can tell you that. Red Guardian and U.S. Agents, all I need. Barry, how are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello!
I would be happy with just those two, Barry.
Red Guardian and U.S. Agent?
Yep, I would be happy with just those two.
Well, those would be
if I only had to get two, if it was a budget issue and I could only get two, I would get those two.
Well, those would be like the only like original ones. You know what I mean? Like the new ones that they haven't made before. You know, because we've got Yelena, we got
exactly
Taskmaster. We didn't get Ghost, but nobody really cares about Ghost, so it's just these two. This and U.S. Agent, you know. Faz, they have finished the DP line. This isn't coming. It's coming. It's coming. White Russell is doing an awesome job playing U.S. Agent. Yeah, remember when he played it on the show and people hated him? Can you imagine?
Look, he does a great job of making it, hate him. And yeah, I like him as an actor. He stands out, to be honest. I feel like he does one of the better jobs in the movie is him.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, at least you know you saw the movie, you know what I mean? Because at least you know what to expect, what to I'll probably see the movie. What's today?
My daughter was pushing Aiken to go see a movies that day. So I was like, all right,
that was what? That's Saturday, right? Oh no, that was Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. All right. So again, how excited are you for this? 1 to 10. The team.
I am more excited for Fantastic Four.
Yep. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be.
And by the way, you know what? I don't want to spoil it.
What? Say it.
All right, guys. If you don't want to hear this, then I'm giving you 5 seconds to mute it. Okay, 5 seconds. It's going to be over in 4 seconds. So 3 seconds to don't. So at the end, the teaser is basically the Fantastic Four.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, it's already up on YouTube.
But you know what I mean. It to me, it's coming off like this is going to be like. I'm sensing that they're going to go kind of. I think I'm a little worried because I feel like they're going to go kind of crazy with this multiverse, and I think this version of the Fantastic Four is going to be like a from another multiverse Fantastic Four, because that's why the Silver Surfer is female.
Right. It's a different
because it's from another universe. And let me tell you, they better whack her ass. They better kill her, and she better get murdered.
And
that way, the real Silver Surfer then will come out at the end, or they'll tease the real Silver Surfer, and that every fanboy is going to be
right. So I just watched something regarding exactly what you're talking about, that post-credit scene, and then what they were talking about was that if you saw the post-credit scene and you watched the trailer, apparently they're two different jets. One has 4 wings and the other one has 3. So what they're saying is that there's a possibility that jet that is shown in the post-credit scene is not the new Fantastic Four, but the original Fantastic Four with Chris Evans and what's his name? And what was the girl's name?
Oh, right. I know what you're saying. You think they would go that far back? Like, I think they would go one movie.
No, because remember
with Michael B. Jordan and everything.
No, see, not that one. Not that one. Definitely not that one. The one, the one that they have 2 of. The one with the Silver Surfer. The one with the rise of the Silver Surfer. That movie.
I mean, look, that very well could be a possibility because they're going full on multiverse. I mean, for sure. I mean, look obviously that's what I think they're doing with Doom, right?
Right.
Doom is basically an Iron Man he's in another universe, right? So
Correct. That's exactly right. So it's supposed to be a universe where Tony survives Thanos and becomes evil. You know what I mean? I think that's where they're
did you
going.
see those screenshots of him in the Doom armor? The pictures, yeah, he looks cool.
Oh, he looks beautiful. He looks badass.
What's the movie? What's the stupid movie with Loki? Oh my god, the Time Variant Authority. Like that really changed everything. Like that made Marvel go in this multiverse direction, which again, I guess it makes sense because look, it lets you explain away everything. You know what I mean? A multiverse lets you get away with everything. There's unlimited explanations and possibilities now with multiverse.
Correct.
So.
Correct. But now, do you think that their goal is to reset it and go back to square one? Because I think that's the goal.
No.
Where do you think it's headed after Secret Wars?
You know what? I haven't even thought about it. I haven't even thought about where.
Because that's the whole point. The whole point is to reset.
I don't think it ever resets.
No.
It's too because how do you? You're never going to get rid of the existence of.
Well, no. When I say reset, I don't mean we're going back to the original Avengers. No, I mean like they're going to reset into something new. That's going to be our new Avengers, but not the Thunderbolts. Because remember, the Thunderbolts are now called the New Avengers.
Well, that's right, because that's what they are, right? They're the replacement Avengers now.
Right? Yeah, but none of these guys have like real powers like you know what I mean? Like these are not like gods, and these are not like, you know what I mean? So it's a little different. That's what I mean. Like when I say reset, I mean bringing back the guys with powers, right? These guys, yeah, they have powers, but it's not the same as like Thor. Which one of the Thunderbolts is Thor? None of them. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's all going to set up to X-Men, and then I bet you they have like they're planning X-Men like they're planning the Avengers from Tony Stark. Like there's like a 10-year plan with how where X-Men's going to go.
You think that's what the continuation is going to be? You're going to be picking up X-Men like from now on?
X-Men is going to be X-Men is going to be from 2000.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. So you think what may happen is the X-Men's going to be the new Avengers, Age of Ultron, Avengers Endgame, Avengers.
All going to be X-Men. It's going to be X-Men. I think
that makes sense. It would make sense if people, you know, the fact that we haven't gotten any
with little sprinkles in, obviously.
We haven't got any X-Men in the what do you call it, in the Marvel universe, so I think it's about time. Besides what do you call it, Doctor Strange.
And they're delaying it, right? I would even argue they're even delaying it. Like they want to, I think, delay X-Men as much as they can because we're kind of getting X-Men with Wolverine and Deadpool, right? We're getting that little bit of taste of X-Men through those guys. So
Sam Wilson Cap wants to be called the New Avengers. They're West Coast Avengers. This guy, Fox X-Men crossover. X-Men is going to bankrupt all collectors. Yep. Just like the Avengers got deep, X-Men is going to get crazy.
Look, it's why I'm like in my mind to jump off of Star Wars is for what could come from X-Men. Because I wouldn't have room. Like I would have to. Something's got to go, right? I don't have a multiverse of space.
Well, and that's the thing. You know, it's gonna get to a point where people are gonna have, and it's already happening, right? For example, Rudy is already done with Star Wars, right? It's not 100%. He'll pick up stuff here and there, but that is the easiest line to just cut out. Star Wars. Number one, there is tons of it. Right. Number two is a lot of redundancy with the line, right? With the troopers, with the constant repaints, with the constant, let's just change the color and here's a brand new $300 piece, right? That is very easy to do when you're not a diehard fan. If you're a diehard fan, you're not letting go of Star Wars. Period.
Well, I was gonna say, like, okay, I talk shit. I don't know if I can get rid of my farm boy Luke and my
No, but those are
original
classics,
line.
though. But those are classics. Those are classics,
Yeah,
and those
I don't
are
know
part
if
of
I don't know.
those are part of the OT. What I just mentioned was the constant clones, trooper, stormtrooper repaints. That is annoying. That is redundant. We could do without all of it. You know what I mean? Again, fans love that stuff. I, on the other hand, not being a diehard fan, I could do without that. Does that mean I'm not going to try to go get them? Absolutely not. I'm still going to try. But if I had to give up something, it would be Star Wars 2. You know, especially the what do you call it? The repaints. That I could easily live without. You know, because those are the ones that are more appealing because they're limited, and so it's like, oh man, I really want it, but we could do without all that stuff. Michael, are you expecting anything, waiting for anything with the tariffs on your end?
Just the dewbacks. I got the email and the dewbacks, and I'm kind of like hesitant on it. I mean, so we'll, that's going to come in soon.
Have you paid your first tariff yet?
No, this would be my first one.
First tariff. Are you buying both of them 100%, or are you just keeping one, or are you just getting one?
Well, you said you wanted one, right? Or no?
Oh, if you're buying them both, I'll definitely take one. Absolutely, because I need one. Definitely. I didn't pre-order that.
I'm not going to lose my deposit again. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it in and open that thing and see how I feel about it. I mean, look, you said you wanted one, so I feel like I'll give you one if you really.
Well,
really
no, if you're not using it, absolutely. Because like I said, I didn't pre-order it, and I definitely. What I was going to do was, if I didn't get one, I was just going to get the Trooper, because remember you got the one with that comes with the Trooper. So yes. I was going to get the Trooper by itself and just hold off on the dewback, because again, where's that thing going? So I was going to get that Trooper, but if you're getting rid of it, absolutely, I'll take it.
Yeah, I just because again, I do want to I want to see how this thing looks. You know what I mean? Because I think I told you I had this envision of doing a kind of a dio with the two dewbacks, but
it's going to be sick. It's going to be sick.
I don't need it. I really don't need it.
Did you get the blurg?
I got two blurgs.
Yeah, so did I. I got two blurgs, and I only have
one. I opened one, and one sitting in a box.
Absolutely, same with me. I have one brand new sealed with Mando in it. Okay, with a Mando in it, and I just left it in the box because I'm like, yo, like this is crazy.
It's big. That blurg is freaking big. It's big.
Yeah, it's huge. That's what she said. And then guys, like I said, I am waiting for my Mark III golden version. Will be here probably Monday. Yeah, from Sideshow. I am also expecting my Anakin, my dark side Anakin, my Sith apprentice Anakin, and my Hayori Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper was shipped to me already yesterday, I believe, or today by Pop Collectibles. Pop Collectibles hooked me up. You guys knew that I didn't have an Anakin. I couldn't find an Anakin. I didn't want to pay over $1,000 for an Anakin. Well, I messaged Pop Collectibles. They got me my Anakin for less than $1,000 originally. It was actually 800 and changed. 800 and change was my final amount.
So he also got less from your dark side than
absolutely. But what happened was this, and I'm going to get into it when I get the figures also. But so what happened was, they were sold out. I messaged him and I said, hey, is it possible that blah blah? Again, he doesn't owe me anything. You guys know that I don't really order. I used to order from him way more. I don't order from Pop Collectibles much at all. So he doesn't owe me anything. He doesn't have to do me any favors. He doesn't, I don't promote him anything, right? I reached out, and so I said, hey, is it possible? He's like, I don't know. We'll see. Well, he came through. So huge thanks to Pop Collectibles for coming through. Again, they didn't have to do anything for me because you guys know that I don't buy from them like that. I used to get certain things here and there, nothing crazy by any means, but I did order from him. I never had an issue with them. He never gave me the runaround. He never gave me a problem. But now with the tariffs and all, everything that's going around, that's going on, it's giving him, it's making it more difficult for him. So all I'm going to say is be a little patient. Be a little patient. I understand what goes on, with Pop Collectibles. I get it. But specifically speaking of this situation now with the tariffs and what's going on with, also, you got to understand that these figures are not, there's not a ton of them out there, right? There's not thousands of them. So he's got to find these figures for you as well, and it takes time. He doesn't have, 200 or 50 or 30, Anakin sitting there or 30 Hayori version, Stormtrooper sitting there. So he's got to go out of his way to go look for these things, so that's all I'm going to say. Again, he helped me out tremendously. I had no hope. Where was I turning to? Toys for Kiddos, they didn't even carry the Hayori version, number one. And then their Anakin, Dark Side Anakin was, 1100-ish, plus, whatever the exchange is, it's going to be, depending on whatever it's going to be. So it's going to be very expensive. So I'm waiting for that. Like I said, he already shipped it through FedEx. Hayori, Cherry Blossom Trooper, and my Anakin are coming from Pop. So again, we'll see what happens tariff-wise. Again, they're not reporting, they're not claiming, what they're supposed to be, what the items are actually worth. So that's helping us out. We're gonna have to pay something. Period. We're gonna have to pay something every time we order from there. If you're gonna continue to order from there, if we're already having to pay through Sideshow, you better believe we're gonna have to pay through overseas. Also, they're shipping FedEx. If you guys want to make it easier on yourselves, you can come up with an account. You can make an account through FedEx. They'll give you an account number. If you're ordering from overseas, you give them that account number. And I'm assuming that any tariffs that need to be calculated coming from wherever to you will be done through that app, through that account, right? So when he was shipping my stuff, he said, "Do you have a FedEx account?" I said, "No, I don't." So he goes, "All right." He goes, "If you had one, it would be easier," because what they do is they put in, whatever, I'm assuming to their FedEx account, they put in that it's going from one account to the other. And I guess that's some type of a shortcut regarding, having to figure out what the pricing is going to be or whatever, whatever it is. So that's taking, I guess, a little bit longer. I don't know what's going on with that. But he did ask me, "Do you have a FedEx account?" So I didn't. Now I do, right? He had already shipped, so that doesn't affect me with him. But if you guys want to avoid any headaches or any issues, make yourself a FedEx account, generate an account number, and anytime you order from anybody that is going to be shipping FedEx, you give them that number, and it'll be less headache for you in the long run. Tulu says for $999. No, it's it comes out almost $1,000 anyway. Fab, where do you put your Hot Toys boxes? So my entire garage, right? I built cases all around the perimeter, not cases, shelves all around the perimeter of the entire garage. So I have on top of the garage door, I have on each wall on each side, I have this door that Brad says, why are you blocking your door with your muscle rack? That door is a closet filled with boxes.
It's not. It's your pantry.
The boiler room filled with empty boxes. A bedroom, a spare bedroom, like a full-blown regular size spare bedroom filled with boxes. I tell Michael all the time, I will never pay for storage. It is not worth it to me. I will turn any room in this house into a storage room before I pay for storage. It is insane to me, and thank God I'm able to use.
It's easy to say with no kids. Okay. If you had kids,
that's what I was going to say.
Be paying for storage.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. Thank God I'm able to do this with, the fact that I have the spare rooms. Absolutely. But, even from the beginning, I was like, I am not paying for storage. It's just crazy to me, Would you buy The Last of Us if Hot Toys would make the, I don't know. If the figures look good, yes. But I haven't watched the show. I know what the show is about. I know there's a video game about it too. And I think the show came about from the video game. So it is same thing with Resident Evil. Like, I own Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil. I played Resident Evil. So I that's why I'm into the Resident Evil line. This game I didn't play, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't get the figures if they look good. And you guys know that. So Hot Toys Collector, welcome. Hot Toys buying agent has a notice informing of the additional tariffs to be paid up to $200 USD. Yeah, exactly. Depending on obviously the amount of money you're spending on the item. Also, obviously, whatever he's claiming, if he's claiming more than he should, you're going to be paying a lot. Because remember, it's like 150%. So that's why, Pop Collectibles is charging between 10 and not Pop Collectibles, Toys for Kiddles. He's charging between $10 and $30 per item, depending on the price. He has shipped after May 2nd. I asked him if he had. He said yes. He doesn't have any news on it because he hasn't. The recipients haven't received the items yet, but he has shipped. We're waiting to see what happens with that regarding the shipping. Like I said, I am waiting. Mine is already. He shipped yesterday. Mine's already in Alaska. Right, my 2 orders are already in Alaska, so we'll see what happens. But like I said, huge shout out to Pop Collectibles because they hooked me up big time, like they always do. Like I always tell you guys, I don't have any complaints about Pop Collectibles with me. They have never given me any issues whatsoever. My figures have always been, here, no problem, no runaround. That's why I always go back. Faz, your garage temperature controlled? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If it's cold outside, it is cold in there. If it's hot in there, it's hot in there. You know what I mean? If it's hot outside, it's hot in there too. So, but again, it's all empty stuff in there. If anything, it's hands in there, right? Which, it is what it is. So I don't care about that. I don't really have, actual stuff that may get ruined over time in there. No. No kids, my friend. No kids. That's why I am the Hot Toys God. Do you think if I had kids, I would be the Hot Toys God? Absolutely not. I would be the Hot Toys garlic knot. Who is going to inherit all that? So that was my thing. I figured, because I started collecting before, the thought of having kids. Then I was like, oh, my kids are going to get all this stuff. And now it looks like my dog is getting everything. As said, pop culture is better, Fabs. No, they are when it comes to prices. They are when it comes to, certain things. But let me tell you something. They're not better when it comes to getting you exclusives, right? They're not better when it comes
they'll never have
correct. Right. And that's the thing, right? We could complain about
those
pop
artisans. I don't even think they carried
at all. And that's the thing with Pop Collectibles, right? They're not perfect. They're not 100% the best. They're not. Right? Everybody's complained about them. It's clear that they have their issues. But with me, I can't say anything bad about them. Look at that. You guys know I've been looking for my Anakin forever. You guys know that I was going to be very unhappy not getting my Hayori version, Cherry Blossom. If I would have gotten the regular one, it is what it is. But I would have been very upset. I needed my little Hayori jacket, so that's why I am very, very happy he got me one. Again, he didn't have to do any of that. I'm not his regular customer. I used to buy from him, obviously, as you guys know, more often, but I just haven't in a while, and he still came through for me, so I will always appreciate that. Like I said, I will always tell everybody the truth about my experiences with him because they've never been bad, ever. It's not, and you guys can't even say, oh, well, you promote him, so you guys know I don't promote him. I don't promote him at all. I could, 100% I could. If I asked him for a coupon code, 100% he would be like, here you go. Absolutely. And if you guys want me to get you a coupon code from him, you let me know in the chat right now. Just type in yes if you want me to get you one from there. If not, obviously it doesn't matter because I'm not going to ask for one. But if you guys want one, let me know in the chat right now, and I'll ask him for one. And I can most likely guarantee you I'll get one very, very quickly.
You know,
So
I just saw that they're doing a He-Man movie. Would you collect He-Man figures if they came out with He-Man?
Absolutely. The reason why I didn't buy the Mondo He-Man is because they look like straight up 80s toys. But if they came out with real looking, Hot Toy style He-Man, or,
A movie like a show related He-Man.
The A-Team or anything like that. Oh, hell yeah. The Silver Hawks, anything like that. The Thundercats, anything like that, I would jump. Again, the reason why I haven't jumped into Mondo stuff is because they look like toys, and I am not spending $300 on a toy that looks like that. Absolutely not.
Right.
But yeah, hell yeah. Absolutely. All right, so we got one yes. Okay, so that's it. Only Moose wants Pop Collectibles coupon code. All right, so Brad said no, so clearly he doesn't collect. All right, so far, of course, yeah, exactly. But if you tell him it's an inert piece of bubble gum, he would be like, "Take 10, I'll take 10."
Coupon code.
Exactly. If it was inert, he would be like, "Oh, please give me one."
Or a free Obama phone. Sign Brad up.
Free Obama phone. Oh my God. All right, so nobody cares for the Pop. He said keep it. All right, nobody cares for Pop Collectibles coupon code. All right, good to know. I will tell him that you guys said you don't need one, except for one person. One person and one person only. All right, guys. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.